My name is Kyle Sassmann. I'm with Friesens. Today I have the pleasure of showing you our new integration with Adobe Express and how you can use it to make single divider pages for your yearbook. In this case, I've made one for fall events that I've thrown a spooky theme with, as you can tell from the background behind me, for Halloween. But you can choose to do it in any capacity you like. So let me show you what that looks like. So here in Connect Me, here are the finished results of what we're going to do today. So as you can see, it fits perfectly on my right-hand page. And the reason it does is because I've set it up in Adobe Express at these dimensions. So instead of just 8.5 by 11, which we often get from students when they design in, say, Canva or Adobe Express, you want to change your size to 8.625 by 11.25 inches, because this accounts for the bleed on this right-hand side on the width dimension, as well as the bleed on the top and bottom on the height dimension of 0.125 inches. So again, 8.625 by 11.25 for a single page with bleeds. So as you can tell here, I've got my fall events as a divider. I've done it spooky Halloween theme, so we got a jack-o'-lantern, spider web, witch here, and then a quote from one of my favorite Halloween movies, Hocus Pocus, of I Put a Spell on You. So let me show you from scratch how I went about creating this. So in Adobe Express, as you can see here, we have our size set up. So let's start from scratch together. So we go File, Start New File, and then you can put in a custom size, or if you're doing something like this, that's going to be 8.5 by 11 under Business, you can start off with just a flyer size. That gives you 8.5 by 11 as well. Now from here, whether you start off from the beginning with a custom piece or you forget to do it and you want to change it afterwards, you just click the resize button. And again, we want to go with 8.625 by 11.25 and click resize. So the reason we're doing that again is for the bleed. Okay, so now that we've got that set up, close this, we're going to bring in our text to start. So I'm going to click the text button, add your text. I'm going to do it all in uppercase so that the majority of the image can show through. Okay. I'm going to change it to a thicker typeface so that, again, we're showing more of the image. Adobe Express will nicely recommend some fonts based off your previous choices you've made in other documents you've worked on, off of other font boxes that you've placed in your document, your current project already, as well as what you're building in the project. So for me, I'm going to choose one I've used before, which is the Bungee Regular. It's a very thick font. And what's nice, under the text layouts options here, there is the ability to put text on a path. So you can do circle, arch, and bow. But I like the dynamic one for the fact that as I adjust this text box, it automatically adjusts the size of my font to fill it. So I don't have to go in there and make multiple adjustments. So let's shrink that down just a little bit. Okay, put it up here. Okay, and now I need an additional text box for my subline. So we're going to put in the I put a spell on you text. Make this text a little bit smaller because we don't want it to be the focus. Drop that size down a bit. I think that's sufficient. And what's nice is we have, again, we can change the alignment of the type to be right aligned. And then we're going to have that text box, when we move it, a pink guideline show up, letting us know that that's lining up exactly where the other text is. Okay, now we'd like to bring in a shape. Now, the only reason for the shape is, again, to show more of the image we have underneath. All right, so over in Elements, down in Shapes here, I'm going to find a rectangle. Just going to drag and drop that on. And I'm going to change the size to fit the whole page. And what I've done here before is I've also had it line up behind the start of my text. So it looks like the text and the block here blend together. So we can zoom in here, make sure that's what we've done. Do have a little bit of space. I'm going to go a little bit more in. There we go. Zoom back out for you. So now what we want to do is we want to bring in our picture. Now I've done a few projects before, and any asset that you find, image or otherwise, in Adobe Express that you like, there's a little heart icon. If you click that heart icon, it'll be in your favorites. So under your stuff and favorites, anything you put a heart on will show up here. So I've done that just to expedite uh, my project here for future use. But to find these images, it would be under Media. And then you can either generate using Adobe AI. You can type in what you'd like to see, like a spooky witch sitting on a broom flying through a midnight sky. Like you can get very specific. And the more specific you are, the better results. For this one, I just searched for Hocus Pocus, and it found me this witch picture here. So I'm just going to size that to fit my page. Now, if this was just going to be a regular background, to speed that up, you can say set as page background, and it will automatically fill it. But I don't want to do that because then my uh, trick we're going to do with having it show up through the font won't work. So we're just going to have this image fill the space as large as we can here. Let me move myself out of the way. Okay, there we have her. And now we're going to change the blend to screen, pardon me. So under with the image selected that you just placed, no matter what it is, once it's on there, you're going to change the blend to screen. And now the elements that are underneath it are going to populate that. If you threw this underneath any of those elements, now those elements aren't going to be filled. So if you wanted this one layer of text, maybe you want it to be a color instead of having the image through it, just move that layer above the image that you've set to the screen blend. But if you want the image showing through everything, the image should be on your top layer here. So again, if I want the underline to be just filled with some color instead, I can do that. I can leave it even black. So let's do that for that one. Now, let's bring in some other art. And the only reason being is because I don't really want to have just these blank white spaces up here. So to find some graphics like the ones I used here, these are design assets. And those are under the media element or the elements here, and then design assets. And for me, I just searched for spider web and things directly, and I was able to find what I was looking for. So I'm going to bring that onto my page. And then I'm going to, again, if I want it filled, which I did because I thought it looked cool, with the image, put it below the image, and the image will screen through there. So let's make this much larger. Have it bleed off the edges like that. And then a little bit of the spider web is also dangling down there. And then the other thing we wanted was a pumpkin. So I put in Scary Pumpkin, and I found this one down here. Where'd she go? You know what? Let's expedite it. Let's go to your stuff, favorites, and there it is. Drag that down. Move myself out of the way here. And we're going to make our pumpkin bigger. As you can see, it's still currently filled with whatever the clip art had of it, but I want it to fill with that image, so I drag it below the image that we have set to that blend. So now it's just filling with the picture. Now, if you want to adjust, as I did before, the image spacing so that the witch is more visible up here, all you do is move the witch around and resize the picture to properly fill your background. There we go. So now we've created a nice divider page that is going to be a standout to anyone viewing it. And in similar fashion to what I've done before, looks pretty good. All right, and you can fill this with any picture you wanted. So in case this is fall events and you wanted to go with a leafy seasonal change under media, you would just search for, say, fall colors. Like so. Maybe you'd find something like this one here. And to change the picture really quick, with that picture selected, you can just choose the replace button, and you're going to replace it with, let's say, this guy. Then you don't have to worry about deleting the picture that was there before and moving a new one in. You just, with whatever object you have here, Just click on it and click replace, and you can replace it quickly with another asset without first having to delete what was on there and replace it with the new one. It does it for you automatically. So if you have any questions, please reach out to your Friesens rep for some more assistance.